To log into Scratch, you need to have your teacher's coding links page up, and it's the same place that you log into CodeSpark and code.org. At the top, there's a picture of a cat. That's the Scratch cat. Click on that, and then click on the blue letters. That will take you to the Scratch website. When you get to the Scratch website, you'll see Sign In. Click on the Sign In. And if you had it remember your username and password, those should automatically show up. And then click Sign In. When you see your name in the upper right-hand corner of the Scratch screen, it means you are logged in. So make sure whenever you're using Scratch, make sure that you see your username there or you are not logged in. Scratch works better when you use it in full screen, so you can hit the full screen button on your keyboard, or you can go to the three dots and hit that there, and that will bring you to full screen. Now I have these three tabs over here. I have code, costumes, and sound. This one here, the code one, is where you can code your different sprites. So a sprite is a different character in your Scratch file. There are motion blocks that I can use. All the blue ones are motion blocks. They move your sprite. The dark purple ones are looks blocks. They change how your sprite or backdrop look. The lighter purple ones are sound blocks. Then I have these orange ones here are events. These orange ones here are for control, for loops and things. To get any code to run, like if I just bring a block out there, move 10 steps, your characters aren't going to do anything. I need to make sure that I have an event on attached to a block to get your sprites to do anything. When an event's attached, then the code will be followed. So right now the cat is clicked on, so these code blocks go along with that cat. If I click on the bear, I see I don't have anything. If I click on the backdrop, these change because they're for coding the backdrop. So whatever's selected over here is what you're coding over here. So if you notice you don't have any blocks there and you don't know why, you might be on the wrong one. So if the bear doesn't have any blocks right now, I can add them, but they're not there. So in a nutshell, that is how to use Scratch. We're going to get more specifically into that here in a moment. All right, so we need to have our Scratch open, and we also need to have this here, our first assignment, open. This slide walks us through what we are supposed to do for our first assignment. The first thing we will need to do for our first assignment is start a new file and name it 1. To do that, we will go into Scratch. We will hit the Create. Go to full screen if you need. If you don't see everything there, you can go to full screen and make sure you see everything. But up here, this is where our file, our Scratch title is, what we name the file. And inside that, highlight everything and put the number 1. So this is our first assignment. We are calling this first assignment number 1. Now 2, 3, and 4, these directions tell us what tutorials we need to do. It says follow the Getting Started tutorial, the Add a Backdrop tutorial, and the Add a Sprite tutorial. These pictures over here are pictures of what those tutorials look like. Inside of Scratch, I can find those tutorials by going up here and clicking on Tutorials. Then I choose them. The first one was the Getting Started tutorial. Here's the Add a Sprite tutorial. Here's the Add a Backdrop tutorial. So if I go into the Getting Started tutorial, it starts off with a short video. I'm not going to show this whole thing right now, but when you click on that, make sure you have your sound on and listen to it. Then, after you watch that whole video, it will walk you through the steps to get your character to move and say something. So these circles up here show me what step I am. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 more steps along with this. So I go through and I follow all these steps in order to, like I said, make your cat move and say something, or make your character move and say something. Now this last one, it gives me additional tutorials that I can try, the add a backdrop or add a sprite. Both of those I need to do, so I can either click on them here, or I can go up to the tutorials to find them. This tutorial bar, I can also shrink it and move it around, expand it, and if I click on here, it will take me in to see all those tutorials as well. So I also need to do the add a sprite and the add a backdrop tutorial. This here is an example project. If you click on this, it will show an example project that one of the students did last year. So they wrote instructions down, hit the green flag. So when the green flag is hit, those characters moved and they said something. I'll play that one more time. They moved and they said something. The bear moved and said roar. The cat moved and said ah, help. So that's all that you need to do in this assignment is change the backdrop, add a sprite, make them move, and make them say something. You don't need to do 100 different things. We're starting off small and working our way up to doing things that are more difficult. So right now, just keep it easy, keep it simple. Add a backdrop, add a sprite, make them move, make them say something. Our last direction says add your project to the #1 studio. To do that, when you are finished with your assignment, and only do it when you're finished, go to share, and it asks you about making a thumbnail for your project. You can follow those directions if you'd like or not. You can set a new thumbnail. I'm just going to go proceed on with sharing. So now it says here the project is shared. After it's shared, I can go down to add to studio, and I select, I don't have a #1 studio, but you will select a #1 and hit OK. And then if I ever need to check and make sure that it was shared with the #1 studio or the correct studio, I just go to add studio and I can see which ones it's been added to. So this first project goes with the #1 studio. Also, if you want to set your thumbnail, you can hit this and that will set the thumbnail to whatever this screen looks like, which really isn't a big deal.